Hello, guys. How we doing? Finally here. Some of you have been in the chat for a little while, waiting for
Sorry
Paul.
for keeping you waiting, guys. Yeah.
It's match day, mate. We'll start with match day. It is West Ham versus Crystal Palace, and then we'll have a look back on what's happened this week so far. West Ham versus Crystal Palace, mate. Bit of a bogey team, a team we usually beat at the London Stadium, and then they beat us at their ground. A game for good goals, though. Andy Carroll, Dimitri Payet free kick, Jordan Ayew's worldie against us. I remember Andre Ayew scoring a really good goal against them as well from about 25 yards. Let's just get up the table, mate. Bear with me. So it's quite nervy at the minute, mate, isn't it? It's quite an important game today.
It's so weird when you look at it. I was looking at the table yesterday.
There's the table.
And we're 3 points behind Liverpool, 2 points above the relegation zone. 2 points behind Liverpool, 2 points behind Liverpool, 2 points above the relegation zone. We're in a really weird position at the minute. Like you say, mate, these are kind of make or break games, the next few games before the World Cup.
Like I say, mate,
if we do well, then like I say, we're only 2 points behind Liverpool. If we do well, we're back up there. If we don't do well, we're sitting right above the relegation zone. We're in a really...
Our last game is against Leicester next weekend. And look, if we were to lose and they were to win, they'd go away from us as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not good. Not good at all. I've got a couple more slides, mate, because it is nice to, have a little bit of things to help us whilst we go along. Bear with me. Let's look at Crystal Palace then first, shall we? Let's have a look at their recent form. So Crystal Palace, they lost to Chelsea, beat Southampton in their most recent result, lost 3-0. They're sort of win-lose in terms of their strengths and weaknesses. No significant strengths. It's very rare on this website. You go on there and they definitely have got strengths. They've got very skillful players in Zaha and players like that. Weaknesses, keeping possession of the ball, defending against skillful players. They take a lot of long shots. They attack down the left a lot. Obviously, that's Zaha's side. And the last slide, mate, is I've got what will be the predicted lineups. Just bear with me. And then we can proper have a talk about it. This is fun, isn't it?
Riveting stuff.
Yeah. Right, there we go. Right. So, for Crystal Palace, mate, usually have the 4-3-3 formation with Gaeta, Ward, Anderson, Gay, I think that's how you pronounce that. Mitchell, Schlupp, Decore, Eze, Olisi, Zaha, and Ayew. You would say that front three is quite scary, and then the defence can be got at. No,
I think Zaha on his day is brilliant, but he's hot and cold. I think if it depends looking at our predicted lineup there, Zuma, Dawson, I'm guessing that will be what starts. If Dawson can kind of niggle at him early, it'll put him out of the game. So I don't like being sort of bullied. Ayew seems to only be good against us.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think he's a scary player, but he's always good against us.
He's a good player.
At least he's decent. Easy, obviously, target for us. We know all about. Can be dangerous. Decore's a good player. They've got good players. They've got good players. I mean, you would definitely say individually we're a better team.
Yeah. But what about us then, mate? So on that lineup for West Ham, is there anything you want to see changed? Enough, I would say it's the obvious, isn't it? Downs for Souček and Fornals in for where Downs would play.
Yeah, I don't like this Downs at number 10 experiment. I don't like this at all.
No, and it's not good for him either.
No, it's not. We see him there, and it makes it like see him against Liverpool, isn't it? And it's not using him to the best of his ability. It's making him look bad. And how many times have we seen? I don't want to start this early getting into Moyes, but how many times have we seen this playing Fornals at left wing back? When he plays in the middle.
Look when he played in the week, Fornals. Yeah. When he played in the week, and we will talk about that game, but he looked better there, didn't he?
Of course he did. He looked so much better in his natural position. He's getting shoved out on the left. Now he's decided. Thank you very much, Matt. Appreciate that, mate. Now he's decided that Downs is a number 10. Where's this come from? He played centre back last season.
Someone was saying that it's what he did with Noble when he played him in that weird sort of number 10 role. Do you remember? when he first
Yeah,
come back in, and he sort of just
yeah,
floated in there.
but Mark at that point, Mark's legs were gone. He couldn't
Mm.
really do anything else. He was just sort of there to spray passes around. Why are you nullifying a good young player because you're so terrified of dropping Suchek?
Yeah, and I think with Soucek coming off the bench, it might even be better for him for a little while. You know.
Mm.
Thank you, Matt, again for this. This was our record. Obviously, played 22, won 9, drawn 7, lost 6. Love playing Palace because we always score worldies, and I don't ever consider them as a threat. Without Zaha, Eze, and Big JT at the back, they have no one good, in my opinion. Yeah, thank you for that, mate. Always appreciate the paid for comments. You got too more money than I have. Yeah, what do you think, then, mate? I think we're going to lose today. I really do. It could be 7 home wins in a row, though. If we were to win today, it would be 7 home wins in a row, and you've got to, you have got to put a bit of a stamp on it. That's a good going.
It is, yeah. I really don't know, mate. I really don't. Based on, I don't know. Do you know what? I could see a draw. I could see a draw.
2-2's usually in this game.
Yeah.
Usually 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, again, if he's playing Downs at the number, if we don't know the team yet, obviously, but if he plays Downs at the number 10, I'll be honest with you, I could see him starting Antonio maybe in this game because I feel like he might be getting a bit fed up with Scamacca.
Here's one for you, mate, because it links quite nicely in the next bit. Would you start a Gerd, mate? How good does that man look, mate? 2 games
I would, but Moyes said in his press conference in the week that he won't play before the World Cup in the league. It's
a shame. He does look the real deal, doesn't he? I know.
Yeah,
again,
he looks
it's very hard to judge against a lesser opposition.
Against he hasn't really been tested defensively. Coming up against Premier League strikers is a completely different ball game to the teams we've been playing in the Conference League. Let's
brilliant
be honest.
On the ball.
But yeah, he's very good on the ball. He's got a really, really good
recovery
left
pace,
foot.
isn't he?
He's quick. His distribution is really good. You look at that now. You've got obviously Aguerd, who's got really good distribution. Kera has got really, really good distribution. Yeah, it's promising signs, but I don't know. I don't know. As I say, Moyes has said he won't play before the World Cup, so maybe he'll surprise us, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I think he'll play against Blackburn in a week, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Anything else on the game, mate? What about Patrick Vieira? Are you a fan of him as a manager?
I think he's done well, to be honest. Yeah, yeah, and as a character, he's
he's a legend, and he's Premier League legend.
Yeah, exactly. He's entertaining. Yeah, I don't mind Vieira. Yeah, I'm not saying that I'd like him to rock up at West Ham.
No,
but
no. But yeah, he's done a good job. I think he's done a good job there. Yeah, moving on. Let's talk about Europa League, mate. 6 out of 6, mate. The first team to ever do it. Obviously the competition's only 2 years old, but still, mate. Out of all the teams that have been in it, what's that? Roughly what? 100 odd teams that have been in it over the 2 years, more maybe 150 teams. We're the first team to do the complete 6.
That's true, and that's an achievement. But if we're looking at it realistically, it's probably because teams that have won, the previous 5 games, they're already through top of the group. They don't care about the last game, so it's a draw or a loss, whatever.
But what a moment for them kids, though.
Of course it was. Yeah. Listen, I'll tell you what, mate. Genuinely, I've watched every game this season. I watched all the group stage games. That was one of the best games I've watched this season. It was great. It was great to see the kids, and even though the game didn't mean anything from a results perspective, seeing the kids gave you that excitement. When Scouse is flying down the left and Divine's, nearly scoring like three goals basically in the game. It made it exciting to watch. I really, really enjoyed the game. Yeah, not knocking it at all, mate. And fantastic to see the kids. What an opportunity for them.
Great goal from Fornells, wasn't it? The first goal. The way he took that goal was fantastic. Good to see him back in the goals. He's been a bit wobbly recently.
Yeah, and again, playing him through the middle. It's where he should be playing. Not playing left wing back.
Matt says here, To be from Newham and see Mubamba players are fantastic. It's good to see young people from your area make it good. It really is.
So I'm pretty sure they said in the commentary that he's from Silvertown.
Yeah, where you're from. Yeah.
That's where I'm from. I'm from Silvertown as well. Yeah. So it was amazing to see.
It's such a shame the goal was taken away from him as well. What
joke!
A bloody good goal as well.
To be fair, seeing the replays,
yeah,
I think it was going wide. Yeah, I think it was going wide. But yeah, what
he put himself about though, didn't he?
He really did.
Yeah. About.
They, Joe Cole and Cole was saying obviously in the studio that the thing that stood out was his movement. And that's obviously so important as a striker, is the movement and knowing when to time your runs.
Being brave enough to keep getting yourself in them positions, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and
he was really good. Yeah.
Mubama, it's funny because Joe Cole kept calling him Divine because he couldn't pronounce his last name. So I might be doing 19, the same.
That one, mate.
He was 9. He's 19. Scales.
He was
16.
a young left back. Yeah. And that leads quite nicely on, mate. What about that left back, mate? What a player he was! Jesus Christ.
Class.
The balls he was putting in.
I'll tell you what. If I've said this before on this channel, I'll be gutted if we lose Ashby.
I really will. Talk about him in a minute.
I've said that I'll rate Ashby right now higher than Johnson. And if we could go forward, imagine going forward with Ashby on the right, Scales on the left. Amazing. Yeah, he looked really good. Again, you take the opposition into account, but the kid's 16 years old playing like that.
Yeah. And he's brave enough to, to keep getting up there, keep putting the balls in. I thought he was fantastic. He really, really was fantastic. Mitchell, good player. So on Ashby, mate, a thing I didn't know, I only found out this week, actually. His agent is the same agent as Eddie Howe. And that's why he was heavily linked with Newcastle in the summer. And it looks like he will go in January. That's a huge mistake from West Ham. It's a huge. Someone's messed up really, really badly.
I think so, mate. I really think so. He looks class. He really does.
Well, he's better than Soufal and he's better than Johnson.
Mate, I agree. Yeah. I agree.
It reminds me of a young Cresswell. When Cresswell first come to West Ham, he's got that same sort of, Cresswell was quite doggy and he put a great ball in. Obviously, he's lost his pace now.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Ashby. He's quick, he's fast, he's not scared to get the ball down the line, and his delivery
wants the ball.
And his delivery is fantastic. His delivery is brilliant. Yeah, if we lose him, I'll be gutted. I think that I know, all how many youth players have we let go that didn't make it? No, I think it would be a big mistake letting Ashby go.
I don't think we can save it though, mate, either. I don't think Moyes can save it. The only potential way of maybe saving it is if he was to play him maybe today, then against Blackburn and then against Leicester at the weekend. If he could see potentially a run of games, then maybe. But if he is Eddie Howe's, agent as well, then you'd expect that he will go to Newcastle, which again, like I say, is a huge, huge loss because he looks real top, one of the best ones that's come through for a long time, a long time. Agree with Paul, though, even though Jono is my pal, Ashby may be Soufal replacement if Jono doesn't improve. Yeah,
and I like Johnson as well. I like Johnson.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
I like Johnson a lot, but like I say, and I've been saying this for a while. I just feel like Ashby's in front of him at the minute. I would love to see, like I say, I'd love to see Ashby get. He should be in the squad. He should be in the squad. He should be playing games for me. But if it's already been decided behind the scenes that he's gone, no matter what, I suppose there's not really a lot the club can do.
It's a big, big shame. It is a huge, huge shame. Do you think, just back to the Palace game, I forgot something. Obviously, Fabianski did get injured in the last game, didn't he? Do you think we may see Areola, mate, start in the Premier League? Or do you think Fab's okay again? I can't remember reading anything about it, to be honest.
No, I think he just jarred his knee. I expect Fabianski will play.
Where do you stand with him now? Because I don't know. Listen, he had a really worldy of a game a few weeks ago where he pulled off some bloody fantastic saves. But this is another experiment I'm bored of now. No?
Yeah. And how long have we been saying this?
Thanks, mate. Thanks.
Nice one, Matt. Appreciate it. Enjoy, mate.
Sort of carry on, mate. Yeah.
I don't know why Areola wasn't. I don't know why that switch wasn't made in the summer. I don't know why. Fabianski's been phenomenal for us. He's been amazing. He's getting older. He's not getting any younger. In my opinion, Areola at this stage is a better goalkeeper.
Mm.
I don't know why he hasn't made that transition. I really don't. And yes, no, obviously, you never ever wish the players to get injured. But when Fabianski got injured and goes off, you do think, oh, maybe this is a chance. Maybe this is the chance now for him to make that transition.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Fabianski will play today.
There are rumours that Lucas Paqueta may be back for the last game against Leicester. Would you play him? I would. We're missing him, aren't we? We are missing that.
Yeah, we are.
He was just starting to get into it.
I'll be honest. I wouldn't be against. I say against saving him and then letting him get fit, but he's going to be going to the World Cup anyway. If he's fit, he'll be going to the World Cup with Brazil, so we might as well play him. But yeah, we do miss him. But again, he's out. We've got Fornals. We've got Lanzini. Why ain't they playing in that number 10 position? Why is he trying to force Downs into that attacking position?
I know, mate, it's so annoying. I really think Rice and Downs together will be fantastic.
Mate, Rice, Downs, even Ben Rama could play the number 10.
Yeah, Ben.
We've got 3 players there that can play number 10. And he's playing a defensive midfielder who, like I say, played centre-back last year behind the striker. I don't understand it. I genuinely don't. I don't understand it, mate. I don't.
Let's move on to Moyes then, mate, because I did put it as a section, Moyes pressure. Like we said, mate, if we lose today, yes, we are through in Europe, and you can all throw that at me, Luke, we're through in Europe, you would have took that, blah, 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 blah. But if he does lose, and then we did lose to Leicester as well, does he survive the World Cup, mate? Would he still be our manager after the World Cup, do you think? Do you think they've got a bottle to sack him?
I don't know. I mean, if there is a time to do it, it's a nice big long break. It's a good time to. I think regardless, whatever happens, they will definitely use that break to sound out other managers. Definitely. I think they'll definitely use that break to sound out other managers. And I think if they get a nibble off of someone they like, maybe you'll see him pull the trigger.
Yeah, a few people here saying, look, if we were to lose today, he should be sacked. Sorry, was 3-0 versus Red. Sorry, someone talking about something different there. Yeah, I'm so like that with him. I'm so like that. You just think, oh, he's going to do something right, and then he goes straight back down that same path. And if he does get sacked at some point, it's his own fault. It's his own fault.
Yeah, and again, I've said this so many times. He has been phenomenal for us as a manager. He's taken us places we never thought we'd be. Back-to-back European adventures, absolutely incredible last couple of seasons. And I will respect him forever for that as a West Ham manager.
Yeah.
I hate Sam Allardyce. Can't stand him.
Yeah, you're wearing
was what we needed
from
at
his
the
season.
yeah, I know. I'm wearing the Dicky Dirt. But I can't stand Sam, but I won't. But for Moyes is different. I'm at the stage now where I really, really appreciate what Moyes has done for us. I think Moyes has hit his ceiling. I don't think he's the man to take us forward with the squad we've got at our disposal, with the amount of money we're spending. I don't think he knows how to manage the players. I don't. Why? It's the playing players out of position. It's the defensiveness. It's the 5 at the back against teams like Southampton. It's just.
And what my fear is someone like Scamacca, mate. We can see there's class there. There really is class there. I'm really getting deja vu of Sebastian Haller at points with him. But even my mate's a Newcastle fan in work, and he watched the games. But he always watches West Ham, and he says, at the start of a game, you'll be playing on the floor. When that's the sort of thing you should be maybe doing for Antonio, like that little ball through and you're trying to get over. As soon as Antonio comes off, we start trying to put crosses into the box. And again, it's like the crosses need to be going in when Scamacca's on the pitch. I don't know. And this is, like you say, mate, it's your frustration we've got Paquetas now, we've got Scamacca's, we've got some bloody good players, really good players. Can this guy get the best out of them? I don't think so. I
No,
really don't.
I don't think so. You know, that's what I mean, mate. You look at that. You know, in the summer we bought the Italian number 9. We bought Brazil's number 10. You know, we've got Germany's starting right back.
Mm.
We've got yes, we've had international players in the past, but now we've got serious international players in this team. We've got supposedly one of the best defensive midfielders in the world in Declan Rice.
Yeah.
Is he getting the best out of this team? Can anyone tell me he is actually getting the best out of this team? He's not.
No.
He's not. And I don't think he knows how to.
No, I don't think so, mate. I really don't. I really don't. I constantly compare us to Newcastle, but I think if Eddie Howe was in charge of West Ham, I think West Ham would be higher up the table because he would not be scared to play 2-3 attacking players. Like he does it, doesn't he? He plays St. Maximin, he plays Miguel Almiron, he plays Bruno Guimaraes, you know, and that's why they're flying because, you know, with Dave Moyes, it's one player that's got a little bit of skill, and I don't want no more in the team just in case they make a mistake.
And it's not just us
what does
saying
that
this,
breed in a player? What does that breed in a Ben Rama? He's terrified.
Yeah,
Whenever you see him play, he's terrified, Ben Rama.
Yeah. And it's not just us saying that as well. I think it was the game last weekend, and I think Gary Neville was talking about it as well, saying, and who did they have on? Louis Saha was saying that the only player we had on the pitch that was able to make something was Ben Rama, and it's not enough. It's not enough. You can't have just you can't expect one player to literally do everything. You can't have a striker, one attacking player, and 9 defenders.
Yeah, well, you got
and expect to win a
two,
game.
You got to have 2 at least, just to distract the defence, ain't you?
Mm.
Like with one, it's very easy. You know, you double up on him. We double up on Ben Rama. Don't let him go through. Or you double up on Lanzini. I don't know. It's winding me up. it's winding me up. But yeah, I'm very excited that we're through in Europe. Like, if I'm going to turn it back onto a positive, I'm very, very excited. It's fantastic that we skip a stage. We are currently favourites as well to win the competition. Me and Paul did have a little look in the week at teams that are in there. Here's Lazio, Villarreal, Bruges. I think were the 4th or 5th favourites.
Fiorentina.
Fiorentina's still in there. I know we discussed it a little bit, mate, but who would you like? I said Lazio in the final.
Oh, yeah.
Me thinking we're going to get that far, but
I would love
should.
Lazio. Yeah, I would love Lazio at any point. You know, for me in this competition now, Lazio is the obvious glamour tie, similar to Barcelona last year.
It's this man's glamour tie, mate.
There you go. The Paolo link. It's obviously not as big of a draw as Barcelona, but Lazio obviously.
They're still, mate. They're one of my favourite clubs back in the day. Was the old. Italia when they had Christian Vieri and when what was his name? Marcelo Salas, was that his name?
Yeah, Salas. Yeah.
What a
player. Veron back then as well was a massive player for them. But yeah,
early Nesta as well. Was it Nesta there? Cannavaro, one of them there.
Fantastic team. And obviously, like I say, the links with the Canio, and I know there's quite strong fan links.
Yeah, we've got very
West
good
Ham
fan
and
links.
Lazio. Yeah, I'd love that. I'd love that game. Who would you want to avoid?
Who do I want to? Villarreal, mate. I'll be honest with you. I fear Villarreal. I do. I think they're the sort of team that would pass us about, and we wouldn't know what to do with them. But they have just lost their manager. Obviously, Unai Emery's now gone to Villa. There are strong rumours that their best defender is going to come to Aston Villa, Pau Torres. You probably know him from FIFA. So maybe it's Thingy's ex-club as well, wouldn't it? Fornell's his ex-club. So maybe that might be something for him. But like last year with Seville, that would be the one I wouldn't want, I don't think. I don't think I'd want that game. What about you?
No, I agree.
Basel are always dodge as well. Basel are always a nice little passing team.
Yeah, Lazio would be a great game. And just that would be the glamour.
Has Fiorentina got anyone special?
Fiorentina are kind of not that. The last few years they haven't been good.
Used to be brilliant with
back in the day, yeah.
Christ,
in the 90s, obviously phenomenal. But no, they haven't been great recently. So I think we beat Fiorentina, but obviously still a historically huge club. Yeah.
What is the minimum now in this tournament? Now we are through. We're into the last 16. What is the minimum? I think we have to win it, mate. I think,
like you say, mate,
at least get to the final.
At least get to the final. You know, we're favourites. We're favourites in this tournament. You know, like I say, we've looked at the teams still in it. There's only maybe one or two really scary teams. We have to be in the final. We have to be in the final.
At the end of the day, anyone who finished third, who has dropped in theory, you know, we would have beat them last year. Because, you know, we finished top of Europa League, and the third, who was third in our group last year? Probably Zagreb, wasn't it? Was it Zagreb, or I can't remember who bloody played there. Rapid Vienna, someone like that. Rapid Vienna, maybe someone like that. Were they that scary? Like you say, mate, there's only about 3-4 teams that would probably be a tough game if we weren't fully at it. If we're at it and we press and we play well, like I say, I don't see no reason why we can't get to the final. I really don't. I really don't. But we will see. We will see. Yeah, spot on, guys. Down CDM and Rice and Fornell's cam if Paqueta is injured. With this big sponsorship deal coming in, I personally think we will have new owners coming this summer, and they want everyone to change their own manager. So that's a good point. You know, that famous, you know, deadline thing ends in March. I do believe we will be taking over. Whether it's Kretinsky fully, I don't know. I think he might be a bit of a broker, and there'll be some more. I don't know. But yeah, I agree with that, mate. I think if Moyes, you know, goes on a bit of a bad run, any excuse under a new ownership, they'd get rid of him. A bit like Newcastle with Steve Bruce, you know, they let him have his 1,000th game, a couple more games in. It's like, yeah, we don't want you no more.
Yeah.
And like you say, mate, you keep saying that Mancini's linked. That's gone a little bit quiet, that has, but we'll see. Antonio runs the channels with Scamacca. We are told to work the ball with possession, not to knock it into channels. I think we never attack down a bloody middle. That's a myth. We are Newcastle without an attacking part. Moyes is far too cautious to be winning manager over the long term. Yeah. When we did have the last 2 years in Europe, so when did we have the last 2 years back to back in Europe? When we went out twice in a row to Astragugu, mate. But I know what you're saying. Listen, me and Paul are not sitting here saying that we don't think he's brilliant in terms of what he's delivered and stabilisation of this club. But again, without his dithering Dave in January last year, when we really should have gone for it, when we're still sitting fourth in the Premier League and we're still going for it, where could it have been? And that's my frustration with Moyes. It's do it now. You have to strike now. I bet you if Newcastle are still sitting fifth in December, they will go big. They will go big to get it. Why didn't we do it in January? You not agree, mate?
You know, I do agree.
No chance it.
And
when are we going to be sitting fourth again, realistically?
No, it was opportunity wasted. And again, like you say, mate, you know, I said it earlier on, completely, fully appreciative of what Moyes has done. He's taken us to places we never dreamed we'd go to. He's been phenomenal. But I personally do not believe he's a man to take us forward. If anything, I believe we'll start going backwards. That's it. That's what
Rice
it comes
is
down
gone in
to.
the summer. You know, that's a huge loss. And I don't know. Under new ownership, it's a different question. Do I trust a new ownership with 100 million to spend it? Probably. I wouldn't trust GSB though with it.
And that's the thing. Like I just highlight in your other comment there. Fornell's breaking records for most game in Europe by West Ham player in history in people in seconds. Yeah, obviously. But Fornell's doesn't play in those positions in the league. Why not? If Moyes treated the league games the same way he's treated the European games, we'd be a lot higher up the table. But he doesn't. He's too nervous. You know, what he's done is fantastic. But again, then you have to take the quality of opposition into account as well. You know, then we haven't exactly been playing well-beaten teams in Europe either. And I absolutely love Fornells, and I'm so pleased for him. You know, to see him score 2 during the week, phenomenal. But then what's going to happen probably today? He's going to be playing left wing back.
Well, he don't really need to be either. He doesn't need to be. Like in these games, the Palace games, the Leicester games, it's about being a bit more expansive. It's annoying. If we don't win in Europe, it's going to be a disappointing season. I agree, because I don't think we're going to get that far in the league this year. Massive game today with Leicester and Leeds winning yesterday. can't see us beating Leicester next week. Me neither. I agree that January was the moment to push on. Yeah, so do I. One more thing, mate. In terms of West Ham, we played Blackburn on Wednesday, mate. Before we have another show, which will be the sort of summary of this first part of the season, which is really weird because we're going to break up for the World Cup. Yeah, we've got to go and beat Blackburn now. Now we are through. You know, we used to play on Thursday, Sunday. What's wrong with playing Tuesday, Sunday, or Wednesday, Saturday, whatever? Yeah, we've got to go there and win it, haven't we? We've got to go there and give it a go.
Yeah, Blackburn have been good this season.
Yeah, obviously got a few players that we want as well, or wanted at one point. Ben Brett and Diaz.
Yeah, they have been good this season. It's not going to be an easy game. I'll be honest with you, mate. It wouldn't surprise me if it's a cup shock. It's not going to be an easy game, but we do have to go. Obviously, you know, playing against a lower league team, we have to go out and win it. We have to go out and win it.
Yeah,
but it won't be an easy game.
I hope we do, mate. Like I say, I hope we do. And then, like I say, Leicester the weekend after. I can't remember when that Leicester game is. Is it Saturday or Sunday? I can't remember. We'll do a podcast probably before or after that. Anyway, good question coming in now. What are your expectations for the season?
What were your expectations?
Oh, what were?
Consolidation.
Go as far as we can in Europa Conference League. And by that I mean semi-final, final. And then, yeah, probably finishing the top 7, top 8 again. You know, making little steps and, you know, showing a bit of something different. What did Moyes say? That's what I put you, Trosh. At the beginning of the season, Moyes said, we need more players like Ravel Morrison, like Di Canios, like Payet. That was his own words. He's got a few like that now, but he still refuses to play them. A little bit more expansive, a little bit more attacking football. I'm not saying let's all go sexy football and all that stuff, but just take a few risks, you know, because the Man United game, for example, mate, we did play well for about the last, 20 minutes of a game. We need to start like that, no?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, you know, it's like, I expected us, again, you know, it was we bought in a lot of new players. There was a big turnaround in the squad, but we spent 150 million. We got good players in. Now, I didn't and don't expect these players to come in, hit the ground running, and we're top 4.
Yeah,
I didn't expect that. What I did expect is the quality of the players we bought to see us try and transition to a more progressive style. That's what I expected to see. I wanted to see us, and I keep saying, "Oh, you need to give it time," but I'm seeing no evidence at all of there being any transition. I'm not seeing it. Like I say, we're playing 5 at the back against Southampton. I am not seeing
it's
any
that as well, mate. Isn't it? Like you said, with the 5 at the back, it's like I want to see us be a team that we go for it, where teams fear us. You know, West Ham, we need to adapt to them. It's always we adapt to other teams. And whatever he's doing, it ain't working. It works in Europe because, like you say, mate, the opposition's, no disrespect, lesser opposition. But, like you say, against the Southampton, against the Palace today, are we going to see 5 at the back again? Really? There's no need to.
No, there's not. There's not. And then, like I say, you know, we're in a stage at the moment, again, with this Downs at the number 10 position. We're playing, essentially, we're playing a back 4/5. And then we're playing 3 defensive midfielders in midfield. How are we supposed to do anything? If you're a team coming up against us and you look at that and you're seeing Rice, you're seeing Downs, you're seeing Souček, where's the threat?
Yeah.
Where's the threat? Where is it?
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. I
know. We literally go around in circles in this today. Duncan, morning, Luke, Paul, and chaps. You just took the words out my mouth. Fornals isn't a wing back and should be played more forward as he did on Thursday. Yeah, it was a really good goal Thursday, so we took it lovely. Would like to see Scamacca and Antonio on a wing to start together. Just would like to see what happens at least once. I think they would bring some real physical presence. Yeah, what have they played together? Was it about 6 minutes?
7 minutes, something like that. Yeah,
6-7 minutes. Yeah.
Bowen has been non-existent this season. Bowen has been absolutely terrible this season. Like you say, mate, play Antonio.
I
Play,
don't
play
think he goes
Antonio.
World Cup either, Bowen. I think
No,
I think he's going to miss that.
I think he's missed that. You know,
Yeah,
but yeah, absolutely. Play. If imagine that. Imagine Benrahma on the left, Skamaka up front, and Antonio on the right. That's a scary thing. And then you put in that number 10 role, you don't play Downs there. Drop Downs in, drop Souček, play Downs next to Rice, stick Fornals in the middle. Imagine that. Imagine that. Antonio, Skamaka, Benrahma, Fornals just behind, Rice and Downs sitting.
yeah, that's it.
Is Moyes really that nervous about his players that he thinks that if he played that team would lose 5-6-0?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't.
Do you not think if we don't win the European trophy and we come mid to bottom half of the table, that is a big failure considering we spent nearly 200 million? Yeah, I do, mate. I don't know what your real name is. I'll call you Dream. Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I think the Europa Conference League, whether people like Jamie O'Hara on Talksport call it a Mickey Mouse Cup, is still a European trophy, and it's a trophy at the end of the day. It gives you an attraction to players. Like, oh, actually, they go and try and win things. It's just that you get that final at the end of the year. Truss says, I predicted 10th and a cup run, as we had such a large turnaround of players to bed in. Look at Forest. I don't know. Today is all about whether we play with 3 attacking players only, as in recent past, all goes more attacking, i.e. Scambo, Paqueta and Benny. Those are the only choices in the Moyes universe. Paqueta looks like he would take a little bit longer to adjust than Payet. But we've said it so many times, man. Dimi Payet was, different level. He was different level. How can you have a competition for places when you have players getting guaranteed starts? Thomas Souček. Yes, exactly that. Yeah, I think we'll leave the West Ham stuff there. Can we end on a positive with West Ham though? Any questions, guys? You've got, put them in quickly because I want to wrap it up because I know Chelsea Arsenal's on, and I would like to watch a bit of that in a minute. Anything, mate? Positive?
Yes, the positives are. Let's see that transition. Let's see him go for it. Let's see him try and do something different. Let's see us get positive results in these last 3 games before the World Cup. Let's go into the World Cup moving forward.
On a high, yeah.
Yeah, not moving backwards. Let's go for these games. Let's go into the World Cup on a positive. That's it. That's all. That's all we can ask for now.
A couple of comments here. It's a great quote here. We always felt that the answer was to play attacking football, entertaining football. I like to think the players enjoyed playing like that, and the fans enjoyed watching it. John, that's a great point, actually. That point there, mate. I like to think the players enjoyed playing like that. They can't enjoy it like.
No, of course not, mate.
There's certain players like Zoomers and Dawson who they love it, but you can't enjoy it playing like that.
No, and it's I've mentioned it a few times. It's that infamous Rio Ferdinand where he's talking about David Moyes, and he literally says that that when Moyes was at Man United and all he was thinking about was how can we stop the opposition team? How can we stop them? And he said the players there were looking around at each other like, what are we doing?
That's not us. Yeah, that's not us.
This ain't us. What are we doing? And like I say, you bring in the likes of Paquetas, Skamakas, you bring in these top quality players, even Declan Rice. Do you really think they're happy with that? Do you think they're happy sitting off and thinking, oh, how can we stop Southampton from scoring today?
Yeah, mate. Listen, we're not.
How can we stop Palace from
We're
scoring
not good
today?
footballers by any stretch of imagination, but when you play football, you want to have the ball, don't you? You want to play with the ball. You want to have a shot. You want to have a nice pass. You don't want to be sitting in and defending. That's the horrible bit. That's sometimes we are the worst passing team in the league as well, without that. We could go ninth for the win.
We could, mate. Like I said literally right at the very, 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 very start of this show, we're in a weird position. We're 2 points behind Liverpool. We're 2 points off of the relegation zone. We're in a weird position. So that's what I'm saying. Win these next couple of games, move us up the table, things will start looking a bit different. If we don't,
well, the thing is, it's a long time before that next game. If we were to lose today and didn't get a decent result against Leicester, it's a bloody long time to that next game. And then that next game is Arsenal. Arsenal on Boxing Day. We ain't winning that. That is not a win at all. Question here is, where is Cornet? No information whatsoever. Apparently he's still injured. Again, another one. Hopefully when he comes back, we get something out of him, because there is a player in there. There is a really
good player. When it started the season, he had a couple of assists to his name. So, yeah.
Even though we only played 45 minutes.
That's a stretch, mate. I don't think we even played 45. We played about 20, you know?
About 70th minute, he lets them go. Scamacca is slowly getting fed up, and you can see it already. I agree. We played better in the second half of games, so let's hope we played better in the second half of the season. We've got to start well, though. One thing that was really good under Moyes that year we first qualified for Europa League is we used to start so well. You remember we go like 2-0 up against Man United, or, you know, 2-0 up against Chelsea and things like that. You got to start well. You have to start Premier League games well. Nearly finished. Let's hope we get at least 10th in the league by the end of today. Playing the Moyes way requires half the team as centre backs. We have been difficult watch for a year now. There's one thing I will give though. Although we do lose games, they usually are only 1-0. I tell you what, our defenders are bloody good defenders. They are. The two centre backs I think are fantastic. No, it's still frustrating losing.
I agree with that. And you could say, oh well, at least we're not getting turned over anymore. You know, when we do lose, we only lose by one or two goals.
Argument,
you could have the argument, but at the end of the day, whether you lose 7-0 or 1-0, still get the same amount of points.
And again, what is that down to? The lack of attacking, isn't it? Because then defenders, mate, they're putting a bloody shift everywhere. Like Zuma is a monster. He's a monster.
Yeah, and you can't sit and how many times have we seen this happen? How many times have we seen it happen? You can't sit and try and keep a game 0-0 for 70 minutes of a game. You will concede. You will. Yeah. You can't just invite pressure. All you're doing is inviting pressure. You're giving the other team confidence. It doesn't work. We've seen it time and time again. It doesn't work. Yeah.
Get through these last few comments. Thank you so much for all the comments, guys. Not the West Ham football I was raised on. West Ham I was raised on was outplaying opponents and losing.
Now we're just sitting back and losing.
Yeah, exactly. You can't say we're winning, Troj. We're winning in Europe, but we ain't winning in the bloody league. We ain't done, like you say, I can't remember who said it in the chat, said we ain't been good for about a year in the league. John Lyle also played players in a correct position, which I think I liked. John Lyle was one of our best managers. Sadly, I wasn't there to see that. I'd rather lose being more aggressive than being defensive and getting beat. Do you think Stuart Pearce has anything to do with our changing style?
I think Pearce leaving definitely had an impact behind the scenes. You know, we've spoke about this before.
What about our set pieces, mate, as well?
I think, yeah, and I'm pretty sure, was it Irvine? I'm sure one of the players has mentioned in an interview, Irvine and Nolan were the set piece coaches. Obviously, Irvine's gone.
No, it's that Nevin geezer, wasn't it? And that Nevin, the set piece one. Because he's like the England one, isn't he? When England was scoring loads, you remember like John Stones and Maguire were scoring loads of
you might be right,
set pieces.
But yeah,
Irvine, what I know about Irvine is apparently his training things were brilliant. You know, like the players were like really excited to go in training. Maybe they've dulled up a bit. Maybe they're a bit dull now. I don't know.
I definitely think with the turnaround, it's definitely had an impact. Definitely, and obviously losing Noble from the dressing room and on the training
Mark's
pitch.
Back in January, so maybe
he is back. So you know, I think that's definitely needed. But yeah, definitely something's not right behind the scenes. It's not. Yeah. Something's not right.
True. It's like we're terrified of attacking from the off, just in case we concede, and I think that's because he doesn't have a plan B. That's a great comment. Moyes for me finds it hard to integrate top quality players into his team. Too defensive minded. Last few comments. I have never rated Moyes and never will. He's gone before we all lose our hope of top signings. Agreed, Gaz. He's never had a plan B. For how long can you defend? One or two balls will get through. Exactly. That's what I always say. Whenever I do my match reviews, I always say there's only so much the defence can do. You know, as an attacker, you've only got to get lucky once. the defender has to get lucky every time. You know, he has to win that tackle every time, or it gets a goal. So yeah, it does lead that way. Thanks for the stream, guys. No worries. Lyle would have been sacked, finishing 18th, 17th, 20th with social media. Yeah, that's another thing. Social media is different nowadays. Anything else, mate? Deji versus KSI. Deji versus Floyd Mayweather. Probably the biggest boxing match ever. Boxing's just a joke now, and it is.
It is a joke.
It's a sport I love, and it's such a shame.
It's a joke. Like, I mean, that's just stupid. That's one of the most stupid things I've ever seen. I watched the first press conference. Mayweather literally had absolutely no idea who Deji was. And why would he? Why would he?
Yeah.
You know, Deji was sitting there completely starstruck, like, oh God, I can't believe I'm here. Deji's sitting there like if I was sitting there next to Mayweather about
like $5 million just for.
Yeah,
mate, I think he's getting paid $5 million, Deji.
It's pathetic. I don't know who's paying for it. I don't know who's buying it. I don't know. Pathetic. Obviously, absolutely devastated with Conor Ben.
Conor Ben, I'm devastated. I'm devastated.
Absolutely devastated. I really hope. This is so. I really hope he can prove his innocence.
Me too, mate. He's one of my favourite boxers at the minute.
I really hope he can prove it, but he'll be proving it.
It doesn't
in the same way that Canelo proved it, in the same way that Fury proved it. They were all dosed up, all of them. You know, I have to say, and Eddie Earn, I can't stand Eddie Earn, but Eddie Earn come out during the week and said he really feels like the media especially has really all of a sudden piled on Conor Ben. And even though he's probably cheated, like I say, Fury got caught. Everyone loves him. Canelo got caught. Everyone loves him. Where was that same backlash for them?
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Good question here, mate. What was your opinion on Fury versus True Geordie? Just going to give you his opinion first. I say well done, True Geordie, for asking the tough questions that other journalists did not have the guts to do. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I'm not a True Geordie fan. Listen, I watch a few of his podcasts and stuff, but I've got to say I respected him for that. What about you, mate?
Exactly the same. You know, I said to you after I watched it, mate, I don't like True Geordie. I think he's proper up himself. I think he thinks he's some kind of expert and some figure in the world of boxing now for doing these YouTube
thinks he's Joe Rogan. The British Joe Rogan.
Yeah, you know, I don't really like him, but watching that interview, absolutely fair play. Respect him for that, for not hiding behind easy questions, and for actually, you know, like he said himself in that interview after Fury threw a wobbler and left. He said, "How can I have these opinions and say these opinions, but then when it comes to actually talking to the person face to face, kiss their ass basically and not tell them how I really think?" Fair play, mate. Fair play.
I went Fury Chisora 2, and I walked out because lucky that Ben, what was it? Eubank Saunders was on the undercard. So that was the main reason I bought the ticket. Fury Chisora was a bonus. Mate, I walked out about round 6. It was awful. What, you expect me to say, oh, this is a legacy fight, and I like Fury. But like you say, mate, no, we want Joshua in there or Usyk in there. Otherwise, there's no point. Or even go and fight Joe Joyce. He'd give you a better fight.
No chance. He won't do it. He won't do it.
What boxing's just really bad at the minute. Good realistic show, lads. Chapo? I don't know what that says. All right, fair play to True Geordie. He's playing as simple to not concede early. Hope Nick could go on a counter, and after that, very limited. Boxing is a joke. It's diminishing. So much celebrities are taking over. Boxing is a circus now. Yeah,
Bivol was on last night. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did watch that. Yeah, he did well.
Bivol Rodriguez.
Yeah,
he did well. Yeah, I didn't. Rodriguez was a bit disappointing. You know, a 44-0 Mexican, probably padded. Yeah, it wasn't a bad fight.
It is a shame. I hate seeing what's happening to the sport, though, mate. It's just, you know, sport I love. It's my second favourite sport. Again, my other one is snooker. Whether you say that's a sport or not is always that debate. But yeah, it's a shame what's happening to it.
Yeah. It's always been. I've always said it. Boxing is the most corrupt sport in the world, and now it's like it's gone to another level with all this YouTube
It's just all the
celebrity rubbish.
there's too much fear of losing the
Mm.
cash cow in boxing. This is one thing that True Geordie did say really good about MMA. If you lose in MMA, it's not that big a deal because
Mm.
you have fought the best. You know,
Mm.
McGregor fought that. What was his name? The nutcase one, the Russian bloke.
Oh,
The bear bloke.
Khabib. Yeah,
Khabib.
Khabib.
Yeah, like, mate, losing to him is no disrespect. Do you know what I mean? That guy is an animal. You know, he shared battles with Nate Diaz, one of the best out there ever. There's no shame. Where in boxing, it's can't have Canelo losing, or Canelo won't fight outside of Mexico, and Floyd Mayweather won't fight outside of Vegas, and Joshua won't fight Fury. That is the problem with that sport. There's too
Yeah,
much
and
risk on it.
to be honest, that's probably, and that's a big reason why these YouTube celebrity fights are gaining so much traction, is because in actual boxing, the fights ain't happening.
Mm.
The fights ain't happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's just a bit of fun. Yep, that will do for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I just remembered I don't think there will be a show next week because it is our friend's wedding.
yes, you're right.
And I do believe Paul is over. So I may do something, but obviously Paul won't be able to join the stream. So Paul we'll be doing stuff during the World Cup, though, won't we, mate? We'll probably do like a little weekly thing, talk about the games and stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be quite exciting. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Please keep subscribing. It'd be lovely to hit 4K by the end of the year. Yeah, hit the like button. Until next time, come on, you eyes. What's your prediction, mate? Just finally, what's your prediction for today?
2-2.
Desmond, yeah, same as me. Desmond 2-2. Let's go.
Cheers.